So, Fighter 82. The last DLC fighter for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate, and probably the last Smash character that we'll be getting for a very long time. As rumors of the direct come even closer,
Haha, it's fun when I procrastinate on videos.
so do speculation of, and leaks, of who this Smash fighter is. There's a lot of different opinions. Master Chief, Crash, other people that I can't remember right now. I'll list them on the screen. But I'm here to just throw in my hot take real quick. It is not a third-party character. I believe that the last character is a first-party Nintendo character. Don't believe me? Look at this. Here are all the last characters in a game, in a Smash game, or a DLC pass. You'll realize that almost every single one is a first-party character. The only, and I repeat, only difference is Bayonetta. And even that was, they had some console exclusivity shenanigans going on there. So I definitely think that while patterns can easily be broken, Ultimate has done a good job of doing that. I do still think that they're going to follow in this pattern, and it will be a first-party Nintendo character. But some of you may be thinking, oh, there isn't just as good of shock value as with first-party Nintendo characters. And while I do believe that there are less shock value characters, there's also points where Nintendo hasn't gone all that crazy with their last DLC characters, or just characters for a game or a pass in general. But that doesn't mean that there aren't some big shockers that I feel would really be worthy of a final spot. There's plenty of combatants that I feel like could really make the cut. Paper Mario, Waluigi, Sylux, and again, other characters that I will list that I cannot remember. Maybe Vegino. Wait. Nah. And he's also not really first party. It's debatable. But anyway, there's plenty of people to look over. And so, we'll take a look at some. Paper Mario, I believe, is one of the most, how do you say this, likely choices, in my opinion. He had a new game come out recently. He's first party owned, so he's easier to get in, less licensing issues. And I still feel that it would be big enough of a shock to feel like, okay, that's a good enough way to end it out. And also we need 3 Marios to take on the 3 Links, so that makes sense. Bandana Waddledy. The Kirby series has not had a new representative since Brawl, which was over 10 years ago now. Bandana Waddledy is definitely the next character that people would probably want. I honestly can't think of any others. But I do feel like he could have an interesting moveset if the Smash team wanted to pull it off. He's definitely fallen back in terms of popularity over the years, but I still think that he could pull through. Sylux. This is definitely a more outpicked one. I don't think this is one that is going to happen, but I'll put him on the list anyway. Most of you are probably scratching your heads wondering who the heck Sylux is. Sylux is a character from the Metroid Prime series, who's a sub-series of Metroid, and he's been highly hinted at to be the main antagonist of Prime 4, a game that will come out eventually, right? Anyway, yeah, I know he's kind of on this list as filler, but I figured we need something from Metroid. They did get 2 representatives from Ultimate, but they still need some bit of love there, I feel like. Remember how I said that Paper Mario is probably the most likely character on this list? Well, I changed my mind, and there's one word that I'm gonna say that's gonna make you probably, a lot of you at least, probably all groan. Pokemon. Yes, of course, it's on the list. It's most likely it would probably be a Gen 8 Pokemon that they want to add to the roster because relevancy. But I wouldn't mind a gen that really hasn't had a representation yet, like Gen 3 or Gen 5. Any of the starters there I'd probably be mostly okay with. And then Gen 8 is, if not the starters, then Toxtricity, I guess. Yeah, whatever. Speaking of a series that hasn't had a new character since Brawl, Legend of Zelda. Even though it has way more fighters than the Kirby series, it's definitely due for a new character. Also, with Breath of the Wild 2 coming out, I feel like it would kind of make sense. No, just kinda. I feel like Impa would be a nice choice, just because she's in most of the Legend of Zelda games, at least more of the newer ones. And then, just for the heck of it, Groose. I think that it would honestly be really funny just to see Groose show up as the last character. And it's not like it's completely impossible. Skyward Sword HD came out recently, and he is in that game. Don't count on it, though. I know we already talked about Paper Mario, but I want to mention some other Mario characters, because let's be honest, I just forgot about them. It always seems that the Mario franchise has at least one or two more characters that they could add in. Whether it's King Boo, Egad, I'm pulling a lot for the Luigi's Mansion series, and, of course, Waluigi. Waluigi has been requested, sometimes very heavily, for a long time now. And, honestly, I'm starting to think that maybe he's the perfect pick. Yes, Waluigi in Smash is known as a bit of a controversial topic, but I do think that this is his most likely time to get in for a long time. I'm saying that because I'm assuming that the next Smash game will be in like 10 years or so, but this would make this the likely time no matter what, but forget what I just said a few seconds ago. Anyway, I do think that he has legitimate points for his inclusion. And no, it's not just because the people want him. First off, Daisy's in the game. And while people may make the point is like, well, Luigi doesn't have his own games. Yeah, neither does Daisy. Daisy appeared in Super Mario Land in like how Peach appears in the end games. And yes, even Peach has her own game, although no one remembers it anyway. But it's not unheard of for a character that's never had a starring role in a game to show up in Super Smash Bros. Also, just the sheer amount of appearances that Waluigi has had in Mario Sports and other games just seem to fit the bill so well. He's shown up in so many games that I honestly feel like they could put a viable moveset together for him and put him in. And then of course there's the last point that people like to put out. Oh, well, he's an assist trophy, so he can't be in. Stop, that rule has been dead for so many years. Sakurai himself has stated, I believe it's in either his Famitsu column or in a Game Award show, that there's really only one rule if a character can get into Smash Bros. Or not, and that's if they originated from a video game. That's why we'll probably never see Goku or Iron Man for a very long time until Nintendo eventually breaks and they want to give us something to really hype us. But nevertheless, I do think that this is the most likely chance that we'll have for Waluigi. Probably ever. It's possible he could show up in a later Smash game, but I just feel like the major shock factor that we'd get from this is just something that they probably wouldn't be able to top for a while, even if some of the shock is negative. I mean, they can't all be good receptions. We saw Steve. It was good and bad. But anyway, I think that's it for a while. Well, just for this video. I don't know. Anyway, that's it for this video. Thanks for watching. I'm Josh, and I'll see you later. Oh yeah, it could also just be another Fire Emblem character, I guess.